Rage on that beat, going crazy.
Hello, 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 and welcome. Yes, Stadia Monday night chat is here again. This beautiful bank holiday Monday, or Memorial Day if you're in the US. Welcome, 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 one and all. How are you all doing today, chat? I hope you're well. I hope you are all good. It's good to see people in chat already. Always very good. Trev, always good to see you. Dave, splendid to see you. And Darfadas, hello, hello, and hello. Let me know how your week has been going in terms of Stadia. Let me know what games you've been playing this week. What's been keeping you, your interest peaked in the world of Stadia. Let me know. Put it in the chat. Don't be afraid. That's what it's there for. It's a bit of an open mic. We can have a chat. Hope we have an interesting show. It's going to let loose a little bit today. Why not? It's bank holiday. You know, that's what we do. We let loose. We let loose. Where have I been? Indeed, I'm right here every Monday night. Good to see you there, Michael. Lovely to see you. Mariko, aka Yoshida. Arigato. Trev says he finally completed Doom Eternal. Wow. Watched a buddy complete the last few levels. Got intimidated, but worked through it yesterday. Second game completed on Stadia. Get in, Trev. Get in. Very good. Well done. I've not been back to it for a while. I mean, I enjoy it, but you know, there's just so many other games that to distract you, basically.
Not enough games on Stadia.
Really? You're going to play them all? I've been obviously playing a lot of PUBG, as I always do. It's a good game to stream, PUBG, at the end of the day. That's, you could tell why things like PUBG and Warhammer and all those battle royales are great games for streamers. So that's why I stream it, as Lord Kenzel. X2I, welcome. I'm good, thank you. Yes, I am. I'm well. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now, ladies and gentlemen, before we get the show on the road, quick thing, don't forget, if you're new to the channel, you know what to do. Want to go that way? Subscribe. Make sure you do that. That's very useful. Please like as well. Hit the likes. Helps the video. That's what it does at the end of the day. Helps the video. Now, last week, I mentioned that I'd sort of partnered with a company, and I didn't give any clues around it. Although, what I hadn't realized is on the ticker that I prematurely put the ticker on last week. So anybody with any observation, if you were paying attention, you would have known who it is, basically. That's the key thing. So yes, so as is the way, you can't be a true streamer if you're not sponsored by a sort of a gamer drink some kind of gamer drinks company. Goes without saying. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Guess what? Yes, I joked about this a few weeks ago. I think it was with other drinks. There are other drinks available. But I have sort of officially partnered with Engage. This drink is called Disengage. It's got no caffeine in. It's the last thing I would be drinking before bedtime. But Engage, Disengage, this version, is good for all day. And it's a focus drink, ladies and gentlemen. It's a focus drink. It's not an energy drink. It's a focus drink, yeah? The idea is it's meant to stimulate the brain. So if you have the Engage version during the day, it's got caffeine extract in it. It's got ginkgo and maca root and things like that, which all apparently are meant to help with concentration. So if you're doing a bit of gaming, or you've got an exam coming up, or a project, or anything like that, it's meant to help with that. Whether it works, I don't know. But the fact that you think you might need the concentration, so you drink it, might have a psychosomatic effect. Who knows? But it's very tasty. It's very healthily put together. It's a bit more of a grown-up taste than some of these other gamer drinks, if I do say so myself. Very ethical company. Spoke with the MD, very nice guy from Austria, of course. Where else? Makes a Red Bull. But he set out to do something a bit different, and yeah, you can try it now. Focus now. So I've left a link, as I say, 10% discount. Left a link down below. Use the discount code Focus Now and get your 10% discount off if you're interested. Anyway, I just thought I'd share that with you. Cheers. It's like a tonic, that is. I don't know why, says Rock. I'm suddenly feeling thirsty.
And I don't know why.
Anyway, welcome. Let's get on with the show. Welcome to Stadia Monday Night Chat with me, your host, Clive Illenden, as I take you all on a trip to Stadia Castle to test my eyesight. A little bit of politics there, a little bit of politics for the UK audience. I hope you're all well. We've got a lot of news to go through. Gamer Man, welcome. We've got a lot of news to get through. We're going to be looking at Stadia. Of course, it's 6 months old. Let me know your opinions about that. Give it a score. So I was thinking, what kind of grade do you give it? Do you work in... we've got to decide the grading system. So I'm going to go out of 10. My daughter says, oh, I got such and such grade in school. I don't know. I used to have O-levels when I went to school. It was either A, B, C, pass. Anything below that, fail. F, definitely fail. You didn't unclassify, didn't turn up. Anyway, we're going to do it out of 1 to 10. 10 being the top, 1 being the bottom. 6 months old. How do you think Stadia's done? How would you rate it? Let me know in the chat. Put it down in the chat. It's always very useful. We'll be coming back to that. So Stadia's 6 months old. Seems a while ago. It seems like a busy week I've had. Mafia, the trilogy.
Is it coming to Stadia? Is it not coming to Stadia? Is it coming to Stadia?
It's coming to Stadia. Yeah, just chill. It's coming to Stadia. Stadia Pro games for next month. They're going to be announced this week. How exciting. I love this time of the month with regards to Stadia. you know, so because we know what the pro games are going to be. We're going to find out what the pro games are going to be. So let me know, what do you think the pro games are going to be? Dazadino 6.5. All right. Jeez. Woo. Dazadini. Woo. Harsh. Tough teacher. Don't like going to Dazadini's class. He's a tough teacher. 6.5. Must try harder. Is that what it is? Doesn't pay attention in class. Must try harder. 6.5. Whew. Harsh. Oh, Dave. Just died. You have my full attention now. Thank you. Perfect. That's what we like to see. Thank you for that, Sir David. Always appreciated. There's everybody. You don't have to avail yourself to the super chats and all that, but if you do, it's much appreciated, and I get to spend the money on effects. Not that I have lots of zany effects, but just, you know, I bought a little TweetDeck thing for my phone so I can control things a bit better. But there you go. I did ask. Yeah, of course I did. I'm joking, Dazadini. You're perfectly opinion is perfectly valid. 6.5. I'll put some context on my score when I come to it. Don't worry about that. So the Stadia Pro games this week. There's been some other game announcements, of course. Serious Sam 4, timed exclusive. We'll come to that. Also, I noticed only today, Sundered. Stadia tweeted that Sundered would be available by the end of this month, which literally is like next week. So that's something to look forward to.
Why did they put a date on it? Why didn't they put it? If they're going to announce it's only a week.
You know who you are. Relax. It's a teaser. Yeah?
They wouldn't put a date.
It's a teaser. They'll tell us because they want to tell us, like, they'll go on their official announcement day, they'll go, Sundered is available. These are the pro games next month. They're just going to do a big pile drop of information and games. Woo! Darth Adder says it's 8 from me. More games missing. Promised prior lunch features, and it'll be 10 if Stadia 2.0 Blades rumors are real. It's 11 out of 10. Turning it up to 11.
Turning it up to 11.
Right. Okay. Well, and the last thing is, I'm going to talk briefly about the new internet speed world record. There is such a thing. Was broken by Australian scientists. And that sounds like a tautology. Yeah. No, an oxymoron. I know it sounds like an oxymoron. Australia scientists. No, only joking. And they broke the internet speed record. Not that we're going to be getting speeds like this very near, but it's just indicative of the way that like processor speeds, have grown exponentially. So internet speeds are clearly going to be growing exponentially. And then, this idea of can internet speeds cope with Stadia and cloud gaming? Well, when I come to the bit about the internet speed world record being broke, you will see. Anyway, let's without further ado, let's just crack on with the news. No. I was going to talk about Stadia 6 months old. So here is my view, ladies and gentlemen. My considered opinion. Why would you want anybody else's opinion? Yeah. My considered opinion on Stadia. I think I'll give it. I'm going to give it an 8. Now, what the reason I've come up with the figure 8 is very simple. If we were I'm giving it 8 on the basis that we already take it for granted. Yeah, I think we sometimes forget that. There was this promise of cloud gaming, and I saw an interview today. If ever you saw Stadia Rock's interview with, is it Hannah from the chief operations person from the Unit 1, Unit 2, the developers of Crater. Check that interview out. Stadia Rocks did a really interesting interview with her. And she described her experience, or her team's experience, when they were first introduced to Stadia by the Stadia team. And they were handed a controller. So this was before it was launched, and they were sort of being introduced to Stadia, what Stadia is, so they could develop Creator on it, etc. They were handed a controller. They had this little netbook there, or some sort of Chromebook, and they were all standing around. These are developers, people who are in the industry. Yeah, in fact, they're very, very intelligent developers because they've developed a development tool for everybody, so they know what they're doing. They handed the team the controller, and she said the team couldn't believe how it was working. They couldn't believe how this game was being, there was no latency. They couldn't believe the lack of latency in cloud gaming. Now, this is a developer talking, and it's not the first developer, and it's not the first sort of person from the industry who's spoken about, I couldn't believe it. And I think Rock said, oh, it's like magic. And she said, yeah, it's like magic. And this is what I said when my first experience was that there's almost like some wizardry going on. Now, we all play Stadia games, and we pick up our controllers, and we, seamlessly play, and we have lots of fun, and we don't experience any latency. But before November the 19th, 2019, yeah, do you remember that? BS, yeah, not bullshit. No, before Stadia, yeah. Before that, there was a real concern, a real doubt. Is cloud gaming a thing? It's not like streaming videos where you can buffer everything. There's going to be latency. It's maybe if it works, it'll only be good for campaign, single solo story campaign type games, not twitchy games like Doom Eternal, Destiny 2, PvP. But come November the 19th or 20th or 21st, whenever it is, 21st, you got your controller, got it out of the box, it worked. It worked magically. And then all the games that we've had, it's been amazing. We've all taken that for granted. So in terms of proving people wrong, or at least proving that actually cloud gaming is a thing, yeah, it works. No excuses, it works. Not like, Xbox Project X Cloud, I tried it. It was all right, but there was, a nagging bit of latency lag. Not enough to spoil the game totally. I could see how it might work, but Stadia, no. It just like playing on the Xbox. Really, that's what it was. And as I quoted about Arthur C. Clarke, that good science and magic should be indistinguishable or something like that. I've said it before on a previous podcast, but you know what I mean. So the fact that we take it for granted, I'm judging it on 8 because I'm taking it for granted. If I wasn't going to take it for granted, I'd go, you know what? Let's not forget how amazing this technology is and what Google Stadia have done to demonstrate that cloud gaming is a thing. It works. It's here. It's building, and it's only going to stay. So on that basis, I'll give it closer to a 9 and a 10. But that aside, let's just accept that we take it for granted. Service-wise, yeah, 8 out of 10. Communication could have been better, so lose a mark there. We know that. We've done that a million times, yeah? Just to be a bit clarity. Clarity. That's what you need for the masses. You need clarity. Otherwise they get confused. More games, obviously. The games have sort of come out and been announced as and when. As I say, and people have talked about having roadmaps, and I think the first roadmap they gave in January was encouraging, and it would be good to have another similar one saying in the next quarter we will be delivering X, Y, and Z. So another one of those, that would be cool. But I understand COVID may have knocked that on the head a bit originally. Everything that they did promise in quarter 1 has sort of delivered, even if, say, wireless control for the browser was a little late. Hey, we'll forgive them that. I mean, working from home is fine, but not perfect. So there you go. But generally, that's why I come with 8, on the basis that I'm taking it for granted that it works and it's magical. Forgetting all of that, I'm going to give it an 8. But let's not all forget, really, it's closer to a 9 or a 10 because it is quite magical. As people in the industry, not randoms on Twitter and whatnot and YouTube who haven't even tried it, they're not the people to listen to, yeah? Although it might be aimed at the mass market, the question about testing whether it works, people in the industry, people who are going to make games for it. And on the whole, you find developers who talk about it, technical people who talk about it, are amazed, stroke pleasantly surprised the fact that it works so well. So, yeah. And I think it's only 6 months old, ladies and gentlemen. 1, it's only 6 months old. 2, it's still only in 14 countries. And 3, it's not on iOS platform yet, which is a massive platform. Not that that's a major thing. Well, it is a sort of major thing in terms of penetration, I guess, mass market penetration. But I think it would be a significant moment when they go, oh, we can play Stadia games on your iPhone or your, things like that. So that'll be pretty. It will be pretty. Not that I have an iPhone, but it would be pretty cool. And we know loads of games are coming, and yeah. So look here. So already people saying we want features. So family share, yeah, definitely. I think it's close. Mariko says cost-effective, female-friendly as well. Yeah, I think the community is much more chilled and relaxed than the normal toxic community you sometimes get. I think family share is coming. There are some features. So there are features that are ready to go. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah. They're working. They've been shown to people. Yeah. And they're ready to roll. But those people are under NDAs. It's not me. But so Chase, happy Stadia Monday indeed. So anyway, yes, 6 months old. It's still growing. In terms of creating its foundations, as it were. It won't be until it's a year old, and you go, okay. So we set out to launch this product. We set out to launch, bring over 100 games. They said 120 by the end of the year. But even by the end of 12 months, if they've delivered, say, over 100 games, that's pretty impressive, really. Brand new platform, launched in 14 countries. Two tiers, Stadia Pro or Stadia, available for free. Just buy the games you want to play. Or Stadia Pro, get it in 4K, HDR. Great deals, amazing deals on the Pro deals, really. And, 2 to 3 games at this rate every month. Remember, it's meant to be 1 to 2, but they've been very generous. So that's all really good. And then you'll have over 100 odd games by the end of 12 months, which is pretty impressive. And some big games, because, potentially FIFA and Madden and other announcements that may be coming up very, very soon in June, in the June Connect that they're talking about. Live streaming features, yes, Gamer Man. I think these are the big things. If they can roll out the features that they talked about in the June Connect 2019, remember those days, by the end of the year, so that the platform is effectively everything they said it was going to be initially, and then just build on that and start adding features we're not aware of, introducing the Blade 2s if that's what they're going to do, etc., etc., then we're on a good road path, yeah? I read a lot in Twitter. A lot of people go, well, Stadia will it still be here? Will it survive? Is Stadia doing enough? Relax. It's like a child. It's still growing, yeah? It's not matured yet. It's still growing. Just chill. Play your games. Enjoy. We're building the house. Brick by brick by brick, yeah? At the moment, we're in the foundation stages. Get the product out there, bring the games to the product, and we're still bringing the games to the product. Add some extra features in a year's time. Well, not year's time, 6 months' time. Now you've got your decent foundations on which to really push forward into the gaming market. Start introducing it into other territories that aren't that it's not introduced. So just chill, man. The future is bright. Exactly. Mariko. Arigato gozaimasu. The future is bright. Anyway, That is my verdict on Stadia. 6 months old. Woo! Right. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, next up, he says, Mafia 3. Let us go to the Mafia 3. I don't need to go. Let's hit the news. Boom. Mafia 3. So again, I'm using Stadia Source. Why not? Let's stand on the shoulders of giants. Stadia Source, your source for all things Stadia. And the basis on which I base the show when I'm running out of ideas. So a lot of controversy around, not controversy, a lot of confusion, frustration, annoyance, etc., 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 about Mafia and the announcement and not sticking the Stadia logo on the end and all of that kind of thing. And I think those frustrations and annoyances are valid. It is a bit frustrating when you know the games are effectively coming for Stadia and then you don't sort of see the Stadia logo. There are reasons for it. Sometimes when they launch games, they do the sort of pre-order now. Can't really pre-order on Stadia. It's not a thing yet. So sometimes that's why they don't have the logos on and things like that. But I think we'll start seeing a sea change going forward. And I think certainly more games. If anybody saw it, I did do a little chart of all the games that had launched, all the ones that were announced, and to be honest, in general, the majority of games, of the AAA games that launch day on date with the consoles, so not games that are already on consoles, but things that launch on the same day as consoles, maybe not the popular games we play, but the motocross, the MotoGP, things like that, launched, just like Doom Eternal, day on date with Stadia. The majority of those, more of those games came day on date with the other consoles than didn't. And sometimes we lose focus as a community because we always think, we worry that people are going to pick up, the naysayer is going to pick up on the negative bits and bash us over the head with it. So what? Just remember that the majority of games that are launched day on day as AAA launched with the consoles and Stadia at the same time. And in the case of Mafia, that is a remaster. And the key thing was the assets that they've already got were all PlayStation and Xbox assets. Yeah? So it's much easier to remaster those for the systems they've already kind of were created for. Whereas they need a separate team to port the Stadia version. So that naturally is going to take longer. So whilst I understand the frustration and stuff, it's going to take a bit longer. Mafia is different. It's not like the AAA game launch. It's a reversion. And as I say, the assets for the Xbox and PlayStation were already there. They just had to replace them with improved assets, as it were. Whereas they're going to have to build the game or port the game directly from one of those versions or the improved PC version. So they had to improve the graphics for the PC version, improve the graphics for the Xbox version, improve the graphics for the PlayStation version. Then when they've done that, they can then port that to the Stadia version. So you can see why the Stadia version is going to be delayed. And I think when that we'll get the whole trilogy on Stadia when the final part of the trilogy that's being launched, because they're launching it in sort of weird number order, is launched in August. So by the end of August, I think, whilst the consoles are getting the last element of the trilogy, Stadia will get all three. That's my view. Mac the Console Gamer. Welcome, Mac the Console Gamer. He says, personally, I've been using xCloud. I tried Stadia. It ain't as good. Oh, controversial there. Controversial. Flip that. Reverse that for me. So you telling me you're getting 1080p? Yeah. 4K HDR on your xCloud. What? Sorry. Sorry. What is it? 7. Sorry. What's that? 720p. Okay. Yeah. Stadia works better for me, mate. Just saying. Just saying. Oh, Eric Padden came in then. Oof. Gamer problem is you don't phrase it like it's your opinion. Part of the problem is you like to speak as if it's a fact. Ooh. Eric Padden says that EA Madden reveal on June 1st. Hope we see the Stadia logo at the end of the trailer. Yes, well, we know Madden is coming, but yes, that's a good point. I think it will send a strong message, actually, especially the people who worry about these things. I think definitely if you see the Stadia logo at the end of the Madden trailer, we know, though, in fairness, that we think there's going to be another Stadia Connect in June, and further announcements about EA games. So there's the 2 extra games we don't know what they're going to be. We can speculate. Could be Apex Legends, could be Warhammer, could be something else. A Call of Duty, who knows? Right. 6 months time, I'll give it 8, maybe 9, Dazadini. All right, yeah. Fair enough, Dazadini, if they've delivered the things that we expect, if there's no, which they will, but if there's no progress, then you can stick with your score, mate. I have a fairly. I read it. Somebody. Now I don't know if it was Brian from Club Stadia said June, as though he knew, or was it one of his crazy predictions, like June the 9th or whatever? Probably that. I'd have to check the date, whether it falls on a Wednesday or Thursday or whatever. But I think June. Personally. I don't know. It's hard to say. Sometimes I think that's wishful thinking on my part. Yeah, exactly, Trev. I thought I heard June somewhere, but don't see it. I want to see the Dragon Age games remastered for Stadia. I put a lot of hours into them back in the day. Wow. Reading the comments on that Madden tweet was painful. Almost 100% hate followed up with yet everyone who will still buy it. Well, 100% hate for the Madden game. I mean, other than I know that the Madden in the US is equivalent to FIFA in Europe. Like, it's massive. But that's as far as I know about the games. Or were they hating on the game? Don't hate the game. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Yeah, well, don't hate the game, hate the player. I don't know, whatever. It'd be great if Stadia gives girls only exclusive offer. Female-friendly, smaller controller with a light color. Smaller? It's a beautifully cute. With a Hello Kitty collaboration. I'll buy that. It doesn't have to be girls. They just said summer. Yeah, true. Maybe. Sometimes it's hard when you don't know whether it's wishful thinking on your part when you say a date, or whether you think it's a sort of a date you actually heard. I think June, because they did one in June last year. So maybe that's the way the cycle, their marketing and sort of preparation cycle develops, so that it just falls in June. I'm going with that. But then COVID might knock it on a bit. I'm saying June. I'm sticking with June. Okay. No time to game, 62. Played Stadia 4K HD on my PC monitor. Grid looked fantastic. This is streaming. How are they doing this? Exactly, it's magic. It's magic. Okay, it's magic. Remember, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. All of that. I'm just reading through the chats here. Yeah, the game, same old EA thing. Yeah, but that's what EA does. It just regurgitates, updates. Same with FIFA and stuff. You don't see every maybe 3 or 4 years they might replace the engine or do something crazy with it. But they stick with what they know. That's the EA model, isn't it? Rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. Fine, people love the game. FIFA is super popular with a mass gamer, you know. Okay, Darth Adas says, what do you think about Serious Sam 4 exclusive hate? I don't think it was. So I was going to come to that. Yes. So Serious Sam 4. In fact, I have a fire it up. Fire it up. In fact, why am I doing that? I can just press a button and I have a lovely little trailer here. Let's go to the so yeah, I'll turn that down a bit there. Serious Sam 4, how exciting he's coming. So I don't know if you've seen these videos with the creators of Crow Team here talking about Serious Sam 4. Now Serious Sam 4 is more, have always been, I think, a PC first game generally, and they've just developed, you know, they've just ported the Serious Sam collection to Stadia. That's one thing. So generally it's a PC game anyway, and then they bring it to consoles, as I understand it. They've just ported it, Serious Sam collection, to Stadia, so they're fresh off that. So absolutely, why wouldn't it come to Stadia? I absolutely expected this to come to Stadia. You don't spend all that time porting Serious Sam collection and then the next game not be on Stadia. And secondly, one of the senior execs, development execs from Crow Team, joined Stadia, the Stadia team, development team, in October last year. So a bit like Ubisoft, they've got that sort of relationship going on. So I'm not surprised that it's coming to Stadia as an exclusive, as a timed exclusive. I don't think it's that sort of that dramatic. I don't think they're sort of spending money to keep it off the consoles. I'm not sure console was the primary platform of choice for the developers in the first place. I think PC is, and then it's fairly easy then to port that to Stadia, given the relationship they already have and the fact they've just ported Serious Sam the collection, and as I said, the senior exec in October went and joined the Stadia team, so they've got that relationship. So whilst I think that, you know, there is some money exchanged hands here for a timed exclusive, I don't think it's as big a thing as people make out. And hey, you get timed exclusives all the time. You get exclusives and then they go. All the consoles do it. It's all part and parcel of you know, positioning and jockeying for position and stuff like that. But the game itself looks awesome. I like the way how they describe it as a dance.
Okay, so you're gonna have some new toys to play with.
In his sort of lovely Croatian way there, he sort of says it's a dance between you and the enemies, and that's true. I found the Serious Resurrector. I found the Serious Sam collection kind of really hard until I learned that actually it's about keeping moving, dodge, moving, dodge. And so the developer's description that it's like a dance, I thought was very true. The other interesting thing about this, they talk about the Legion system, where they found a way of having thousands of enemies on the screen at the same time, and then they realized that they could actually make it 100,000. 100,000? What are they talking about? But there's a clip later on. I'll see if I can find it if we haven't gone past it.
I mean, I cannot escape from what I'm listening. For the past few years, I've been listening to.
I mean,
it's a really nice trick.
Here they're talking about how. Oh yeah, so he's talking about here really thousands, hundreds of thousands of enemies on the screen. It looks like when you'll see here, it looks absolutely bonkers. This is not the bit here, but you'll see a bit later on. And I remember when they talked about Stadia, not in the various connects. Here we are, look.
So this is a new thing that Serious Sam players have.
That's ridiculous. How are you meant to fight all those people? But anyway, that just gives you an idea. And I remember, yeah, Serious Sam goes big. I remember they talked about, well, Stadia team or development team, Erin talked about how you could have, by using the sort of multi-blade, you could have sort of much more enemies. And I think it's Orcs Must Die talked about how for the first time they could have 500 enemies on the screen at the same time. And it was kind of, on Stadia, and it was a real wow moment. But then Crow team go, 500 enemies? 500 enemies on the screen at one time? Hold my engage. Hold my beer. 100,000. So I wonder to what degree, and maybe some of the developers in the chat can maybe have an opinion on this or a view on this. I wonder to what degree the 100,000 enemies are actual enemies and not sort of duplicates to give the impression of 100,000, whereas Orcs Must Die, they're 500 functioning enemy, if that makes sense. So for instance, in how they do in special effects, if they want to make a massive crowd, they get like 100 people, and then they cut and paste that 100 people, and then start building up a picture. So you've got 100,000 people, that kind of, whether they're using that kind of effect. So in effect, you're only ever really in combat with, say, 500 people or 500 enemies, but on the screen it looks like there's 1,000 because they've duplicated lots of sort of graphics and stuff to give that impression. Whereas Orcs Must Die, the developer there was talking about genuinely having 500 enemy actually attacking you at once. I'm curious about that anyway. Hello, Jerome. How are you? Yeah, Trev. Can you imagine having to clear 100,000 enemies to clear a level? Lol, exactly. I love that cannon in SS4. I like the bit on the bridge, yeah, where he's just taking down all those. What are they meant to be? Horses, skeleton horses things. Or are they skeleton cows? I've no idea. Anyway, taking them down. I think Crow Team will become Stadia's first European studio. I can see that. I can see them being under the Stadia umbrella. So you've got your genuine in-house Stadia studios, and then you've got, so a bit like Microsoft have, I've got their names now. Like Rare, for instance, in Microsoft, they have them under their label. So a bit like that with Stadia, they've got Typhoon Studios and other sort of studios under their label, using their independent development sort of brains and imagination to develop games specifically for Stadia. Jerome is having a cup of tea. Jerome, I'm having a disengage. Yeah, disengage, and you too could have a disengage. 10% discount code. Focus now. Use the link down below. Look at that, seamless. It's like a tonic. I missed the start of the show. Where's your join button? The join button, David, is not here. They said it will be ready within 2 weeks. We are only 1 week into their promise, so I'm not hassling the management at YouTube. Yeah, they assured me it will be sorted out within the next 2 weeks, and we are only a week into it. And I am a man of patience. Yeah. They've got 7 days to comply. That's all I'm saying. And then the join button. Although I still haven't quite decided what benefits and stuff we'll be doing, but I'm thinking on it. So let me know. David Reese Owen, welcome, my friend. Remember to hit like. Remember to subscribe if you're new to the channel. David Reese Owen, is COD on or going to be on Stadia? No, it is not on Stadia yet. There are rumours, stroke wishful thinking, stroke a bit of both, that it will come. And I think if not this one, the next one will, as we get into the stride of EA just developing their games to and the like, developing their games for a multi-platform scenario, and Stadia just becomes one of those other platforms. It's not as though it's like Switch, in which it can be quite tough to port to because you're working on something with less fidelity. Stadia has all the power it needs to bring these games, just as much power as the Xbox, just as much power as the PlayStation, etc., to bring these games to the platform. So we'll start seeing, if not necessarily immediately, we'll start seeing them more and more. Have to be to get a chicken dinner. Exactly. I've got my chicken dinner, mate. I've seen it. You not? Yeah, you know. You watch Lord Kensal of Stadia. He gets his chicken dinners now. So that was Serious Sam. Wow. Whoo. Right. Other pro games. So also, Ember launched this week. Of course, I've not played Ember. Let me know if you played it, Ember, in the chat. It'd be really useful. I'm umming and ahhing. It does look like the fact that the arm seems detached. Look at that massive hand. Far away, close up, far away. And the hand in it seems like detached in that first-person way, as though it was originally meant to be a VR game. I've seen some people comment on that, so I'm just curious about that. But do people like those ragdoll physics type games? I find Human Fall Flat, for instance, where the sort of the objects stick to you. I'm going to do a human, and you carry them around like that. I find it a little bit frustration, hilarious, but a little bit frustrating, personally. So let me know whether you feel the same. Whether you played Ember, is it worth playing? I know there's a lot of people saying it's a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. It gives me motion sickness. It's a bit like Yoshida when she's playing PUBG sometimes. Or is that just my driving? But yeah, let me know in the chat whether you've been playing Ember. That's useful. And as I said, today Stadia announced Sundred. Sundred is coming.
Rated E10 for ages 10 and up.
Sundred is coming this week. So, as I said, very exciting. We've got the pro games going to be announced. And I think at the same time, they're going to be, they'll announce Sundred is available to play. So any minute now. Somebody said, oh, there's been no game announcements today. I felt like saying, well, it's like a bank holiday, isn't it? Like in America, it's a bank, well, they don't call it a bank holiday. It's Memorial Day. The Twitter feeds on, you know, the bots, they're just like rolling out random tweets about Stadia. So wait for tomorrow. So tomorrow, Wednesday and Thursday, there will be announcements. Anyway, they did announce today, the Twitter bots at Google Stadia announced that Sundred would be available by the end of this month. So that is literally, as I said, this week. So bear that in mind, fans of Metroidvania type style games. It's beautiful graphics style to it. It looks amazing. In fact, oh yes, that reminds me actually. I talked about developers who. Oh, let's just switch that off, and we'll get that. You get the noise. There we go. Talking about developers, I said earlier about you should listen to what developers say about Stadia, and the developers or the team behind Monster Boy issued a tweet this week going, "Wow, I can't believe the lack of latency on Stadia. This is amazing." And they were doing sort of a very quick demo of Monster Boy. Again, it's developers talking about the tech, not randoms who don't really know what they're talking about. People who know their stuff. I rest my case, my lord. Dave says he wants to buy that Monster Boy game. Yeah, it looks sort of fun in an old school way. It's been around. I think it was on the Switch. People will be able to tell me. Hey, Lawrence Joyce. Hi, how are you, my friend? Welcome to the chat. Welcome, welcome. It's good to see some new people in here. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, all of that. It's much appreciated. So the other thing, so Sundred is later this month. And big news for fans of the game I'm about to announce next. Elder Scrolls Online is pending, is coming. And we know it's coming to Stadia. We know that. We know it's going to Stadia. No, what I mean, let me clarify. Let me clarify my statement, please. Elder Scrolls. Are you right down there, chat? Yeah. Are you okay? You okay? Good. Elder Scrolls had its official certification. Okay, it's it's sort of ERSB certification published, which is always a good indication that the game is about to drop. And so I have a funny feeling it could be dropping in June, which is only like a week away. So it could get announced this week, or it could save it for the alleged Stadia Connect, which could be in a couple of weeks. Who knows? But I think it's going to be within the next 4 weeks. We're going to see ESO. Yeah, this is what I'm thinking. So originally, this was my thought, is that the expansion pack, not that I'm a massive fan of Elder Scrolls. That sounds disingenuous. I've not really played it. But I was aware that the expansion pack was coming. And to me, that sounded like the perfect time to go, oh, and it's on Stadia with the expansion pack. So there we go. And Crater, of course. Thank you, Random Noob. Crater is, as you would have seen from various tweets and all the demos that they've been doing and the interviews that Hannah, is it Hannah? It was Hannah. That Stadia Rocks did. Stadia Cast have done an interview with her. Stadia Player One, I think, has an interview with her in a couple of days. Man, this means it's coming. Could be a pro game. Big shout. And it looks... I tried to explain to my son. I said, it's a bit like Roblox, but with Fortnite graphics. I don't know, is that a good description or a bad description? So Roblox is, you have Roblox Studios where people can develop games, but they're very basic in the graphics, obvious reasons. And then publishes games, and then loads. And it's so popular. It is so popular, Roblox, because there is so much variety in the games. So you apply Stadia-like graphics, which is effectively what it is, to that. I mean, there are even, in Roblox, there are versions of Fortnite. I mean, it looks awful. But I've seen Fortnite players, or big streamers on YouTube, play the Roblox version. Because it's sort of fun and crazy. And my son's played it as well. So the very fact that you get games that look like, so you're sort of a Roblox collection of games that look like games that people play, especially sort of younger people, like, the Fortnite style look to it, I think Create is going to be big on 2 levels. Big because the people who like to get down in the weeds and use their imagination to develop games. Anybody who knows anything about Fortnite or watched anything of the Fortnite games will know that obviously in Fortnite there's the creative section, and people build games in Fortnite. Usually sort of speedrun type things. But they're really popular. And then people post them on YouTube and say, can you beat my speedrun? And it's using sort of speed up blocks and jump blocks and then shooting things and ducking under things and stuff like that. So people, on a very small level, people build amazing games out of Fortnite in Fortnite Creators section. Imagine what you could do in Crater. Anyway, so I think this game's going to be pretty impressive. Thank you, Jerome. Yeah, hit the likes. Exactly. Hit the likes, ladies and gentlemen. Hit those likes. Right, so that's ESO. Very exciting. Who's excited about Elder Scrolls? I know it's a massively popular game, especially with the PC players. And I was on the Xbox Games Pass, I think, for a while, and I never got to play it when it was on there. I think it will, but I also think it will be a slow burner, especially when they have the streaming functionality for YouTube, because then people can post their games and challenges, build a speed run. I've done the speed run in Roblox, and it's amazing. It's so addictive. It's so simple. And I saw in Creator a similar thing, like a speed run with 2 of you. As I understand, they're all multiplayer games. There's no single games, which is a bit weird. I might be wrong on that. But I saw a speed run type game using that was built by somebody by Creator. So I think it will grow and develop. I struggle with the online games, little time and no friends. Oh, David. Hello? Is that the little violin shop? Yes. Could you send some today, please? Joking. But ESO is a big title, and so very excited about that. Let me just go back here, and we're just gonna skim the news. I'm not sure. Sometimes on the surface things look like a sure shot. I don't think it's a sure shot so much, but I think it will grow, just based on Trevor, just on the experience of Roblox. You wouldn't, looking at it, I think it's awful, terrible looking game. But I've seen my son, he's playing like some zombie killing game on it, or like a fake GTA, or a fake sort of Forza Horizon type things. I love it, and you just think, why would you play the sort of a rubbishy fake version? People just love the variety. That's all it is. So the other thing, news. Some of the more eagle-eyed amongst the community spotted that Sega were recruiting for game porting positions, and a lot of people getting very excited about this. All these Sega games are coming. All these Sega, because what they forgot is that Football Manager is a Sega published game. But having said that, I think it's encouraging that they're getting a dedicated person responsible for the sort of managing the porting of games. So it's obviously an ongoing business. You don't hire somebody on the basis that they're not hiring them on a short-term basis. So it's encouraging that they will definitely, and it won't be just for Football Manager. So clearly there are going to be some Sega games other than Football Manager coming to Stadia. So that's very, very exciting as well. More content incoming for Borderlands 3. I've still not played it on Stadia. I played Borderlands 2 on the Xbox, but it's got so many other games that I don't really feel I could justify spending money on the Borderlands 3 one. I can't go back now. I'm trying to catch up with what I've got. That's the main thing. On the controversy, while I just remind on the controversy here, we'll just put here. On the controversy about not putting dates on, this one is, I must admit, they Destroy All Humans, and I did a big search for the Stadia dates and stuff. But considering this trailer was used specifically in the Stadia launch announcement last year as a game coming, the fact that they haven't added the Stadia trailer, or there's not really much reference to Stadia on all of the marketing, is a bit annoying. I get that. But it is coming to Stadia. So, but that's just another example I think people have quoted, in fairness, as one of the negative side. But as I said before, the majority of games come day or date. So the new releases come day or date on all the platforms, including Stadia. This is the Mafia and some of the others were exceptions to the rule, and there were reasons behind that. I think I've tried to explain. But it'll be interesting to see what the case is here. We know the release date for Destroy All Humans is July the 28th for most platforms. It will be a little bit disappointing considering this is one of the prime games that they announced, of the many games coming to Stadia over about a year ago, I think it was. So yeah, that will be a little bit annoying. Anyway, there we go. Anything else in the news worth talking about? Let me just double check. Happy we've done that. Ember, Stadia 6 months, yeah. Mortal Kombat, some new content coming to that, including RoboCop, one of my favourite films, the original RoboCop, ladies and gentlemen. I could lecture you. In fact, my thesis was very much based around RoboCop at university, my film thesis. Interesting enough. But anyway, we're not here to talk about film studies. I did that a long time ago. But anyway, Mortal Kombat. I love the way they add in these sort of random franchises in there for no particular reason. But it's sort of kind of cool. The other thing I just want to mention here is, of course, the 2-month trial period for all new signer-uppers to Stadia is coming to an end. And as we assumed, because of what we'd seen in the APKs about Stadia, the model going forward is you sign up to Stadia, you get 1 month's free trial of the Pro, and then after that, if you enjoy it, keep the Pro. If not, just buy the games you want to buy and play in 1080p, knock yourself out in the Chrome browser, enjoy. And that's it, which is fine. I mean, I did read somebody, well, again, it's somebody talking about other stuff they'd read about somebody going, oh, they're taking a free month away. I haven't even got the time to even indulge that ridiculousness. The point is, like with many other subscription services, try for a month free, the pro level. And if not, get to play Stadia, which is not bad at all. David Handley says, my thesis was The Matrix. Good one. All three, the Matrix trilogy. Jerome says the original RoboCop is great. There's something, can I just talk briefly about the original RoboCop? It is a very economic film. I don't mean financially, just in terms of the way that it is made. A bit like Die Hard in a way. That's like a beautiful. Spielberg described Die Hard as a beautiful Chinese puzzle box. Everything's just fitted together perfectly. But for me, RoboCop is much more. It just drives through as that European sensibility. It's like a B movie. It drives through. It's in your face. It's visceral. It's funny. It's horrible. It's exciting. Gets on with it. Perfect. Anyway. Well, Matrix, fantastic. Yeah, it kind of lost its way a bit though, didn't it really? Tazadini says, last week alone, I know of 4 friends signing up to Stadia. Very good. I mean, you still get people that say, I signed up, tried it, it didn't work properly, I couldn't be bothered. And I must admit, I mean, okay. Cards on the table, ladies and gentlemen. 6 months ago, 6 months ago, and less 4 days, so on the 21st of November, when my Stadia came, I tried connecting my controller to my Chromecast Ultra, and it didn't work straight away. So I just reset my broadband, tried it again, and it worked. So briefly, for about 30 seconds, I was a bit, oh. Then I figured out, oh, wait a minute. You've got to do something in the right order. Now, certain people on Twitter have said to me, oh, yeah, but this is the problem. Stadia, Google need to sort of release a sort of a troubleshooter. And I think to a certain degree, yeah, they do. Or at least a few FAQs, because sometimes for instance, when you're logging in, so originally the first time I logged in with my Chromecast Ultra, with my Stadia controller to my Chromecast, I hit the buttons really quickly. I didn't wait. You've got to wait a second or 2 seconds. Just give it a chance. Just give it a moment. And so I put the code in and it didn't happen instantly. So I put the code in again and then I'm in a loop, a feedback loop going, and it's like but you don't know that the first time you try. Just put the code in. Mississippi 1, Mississippi 2, Mississippi. Perfect. Now we're connected. So it's little things like that. And also the fact that a lot of idiots don't realise that amount of people that say to me, and this really gets my goat, and again, in fairness, Google need to make this clear. Yeah, I tried it, right? I've got 100 million gigabits come into my house, and it worked rubbish, right? It doesn't give a fig how much is coming into your house. Doesn't matter. Like anything above 20, 30 megs upwards to several gig, it doesn't matter what's coming into your house. Yeah? It's what it does when it's in the house. Yeah? Doesn't matter the speed coming to the house. It's what it does when it's in the house, i.e. your Wi-Fi. Yeah? Then you're going to take Stadia out into the garden and be 500 meters away from your hub. It might struggle the Wi-Fi because it's only on 2.4 gigahertz, which is not the best for transferring data. Hardwire anything, hardwire everything, like Google says, for a start. Give it a chance. All I'm saying is like, just do the basics. And then moan about it if it doesn't work. Send it back. Web's not for you. But, you know, that's the key thing anyway. What about Total Recall? Recall. Yeah. Another great Paul Verhoeven movie. Big blockbuster. Some nice moments in it. I hate I'm not one of these persons who instantly hates remakes, but I did not like the remake of RoboCop, and I did not like the remake of Total Recall. There was something a bit schlocky about RoboCop in the first place, and that's the nature of Paul Verhoeven. He's a European schlocky director, and he didn't really care for RoboCop when he was making it. That's why it has a certain efficiency to it. He just wanted to get on and make it. He didn't really care. And in doing so, he created quite an interesting product. Total Recall is Hollywood giving him big money and a big Arnold Schwarzenegger name, and yeah, and it still had that European schlocky element to it. Anyway, we're not here to talk about film studies, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, so there we go, ladies and gentlemen. As I say, I was going to just riff on all the crazy Twitter people and all the people moaning, but I don't want to be too offensive to people, because I understand the frustrations that the people have, and that, you know, we're on this kind of conveyor belt of information. The need for Google haven't announced anything today. It's all gone to pot. What's happening? It's like, just, you know, chill, relax. Yeah, it's all good. Let life do other things, and when you're not looking, there'll suddenly be a tweet from Stadia. Oh, we're launching all these games. But if you constantly Stadia's no announcements yet. I looked at 11 o'clock. It's now 20 past 11. There's no announcements. What's happening? Has Stadia failed? Has Stadia failed? Get out. Get out. Goodness sake, man. What's wrong with you? Chill. Do other stuff. Play some games. And stuff will come. Yeah? I know, we're all excited. Can't get my controllers to work over Wi-Fi. Worked once. Really? I have them working on the browser, the Chrome browser. And I have them working on 4K TV. Oh, thank you very much. No problem. But the thing is, Resurrected, you should know that, like, I'm lucky because I've got a small house. Not reverse bragging. I've only got a small house. But my hub is almost behind my head. It's like behind a wall, but behind my head when I'm playing the 4K on the TV. And to be honest, I'm not that far away from here, but it seems to pick it up fine. And once you're in, you're in. So sometimes actually it might be worth signing in close to your hub. So, you know, some Wi-Fi things, when you're setting up a Wi-Fi unit or a plug or a Wi-Fi extender, they tell you to set it up next to your hub or close to your hub. And then once you've set it up, go and plug it where you need it to be. And then it remembers the signal that it got originally, and it will stick to that. So maybe that's what you need to do, is stand close to your hub, not on top of it, but close to your hub when you first sign on. And then if your your play area, let's call it play area so we don't confuse the people, is a bit further away, then bring your controller to that and see if that works. That's all I'm saying, man. Hey, Clive, that was a recent update that allows my controller to sync much better than before. Do you think it was an update, Project Storm? The one update that I did see, and I don't know, is the graphics. When you're in Stadia.com, not only your put it up here, yeah, your headphones are connected. They've lowered down, so it doesn't hide some Stadia information in the top corner of the screen. They've lowered it down, and they've made the font slightly larger. Has anybody noticed that? And also the sort of instant hit key to go full screen. Seems like controller sound connection is better. Yeah, I did have a bit of problem with the sound a couple of days ago, but then I was having major Wi-Fi problems. Hence, I knew that I was having Wi-Fi problems because the sound was stuttering a bit, and it's only ever done that once before. And everybody in the house was having proper Wi-Fi issues. So that was just a classic. Look, every time you got to reset your Wi-Fi, if you didn't know this, yeah, it's like the pipes are clogged. Yeah, it sounds a bit weird, but the Wi-Fi pipes get clogged. So just switch when everybody's, you know, you get that small hour between everybody going to bed and waking up. Nobody's looking. So I go around the house. I tell the kids, "Hello, is it all right? I'm going to be switching the Wi-Fi." "No, don't do it, Daddy." No, it'll only be 5 minutes. I'm going to be switching the Wi-Fi off. Go to my son. "Are you finished playing Overwatch?" "Yeah. Is it all right if I just switch the Wi-Fi off for 5 minutes, please?" Switch it off, restart again. Everything's beautiful. So that's all it takes sometimes. It's not Google, as I always like to say. It's you. It's your Wi-Fi. There we go. Well, there we are, ladies and gentlemen. That I think is. I think I covered it. I wrote a little. Look, I'm professional. Look, I'm not fed up with using computers and stuff. I wrote it on a post-it note. Stuck it on my screen. Yeah, that's the kind of professional guy I am now. Project Storm says, "Yeah, I will try and find the article I read and share it. There are a few UI changes. That's the beauty. They just like little tweaks, don't they? Little tweaks you don't always know, or people notice. Oh, but I just noticed the fonts were slightly larger and the thing had dropped down. And a few people have mentioned it since, as I said. So that's quite interesting. Anyway, thank you everybody for coming here. Oh, Rusty says, all right, Rusty, how are you, my friend? I reset my router every Sunday morning when I get up before everybody else gets up. That's good. That's like putting out the bins. That seems like a real dad thing to do. Maybe I ought to be doing that, yeah. Put out the bins. Don't know why all fathers are normal. Put out bin and reset Wi-Fi. Wife, I'm going to put out bin and reset Wi-Fi. Yeah, but that's a good idea. People should, by the way, just reset your Wi-Fis. Yeah, reset your router weekly if you stream a lot of services. Exactly. This is why I'm making jokes and doing silly voices, but that's very, very true. Project Storm, yeah, I'll try and find out. Article. I saw your last vid, Storm. Don't know how you get such high quality. Rusty, father of 4 gamers have to keep the network working. Tell me about it. Yeah, streamers, gamers. Absolutely. The Gamer Man says, take care, mate. You're the best live streamer. Get away. Always so nice. He's always so sweet, Gamer Man. Sweet to us all. Thank you. Appreciate it, man. I'm getting better at the tweaking the 4K 60 Pro and Streamlabs. So, Project Storm, do you stream via the Chromecast Ultra and an Elgato? Or do you do your 4K 60 through the 460K Pro? Looks like you're talking about an Elgato. I'm assuming that's what you're doing it. Real dope, great work. All right, Resurrected, this is my channel. No, it's praising Project Storm. I'm sure it's very good work. I'm joking. No, it's great work, Project Storm. So do you use the Elgato? I'm wondering whether I should, do that. At the moment, I just stream using the using Shadow. Ooh. I tried that. That's one of the reasons I tried Shadow over a year or so ago, if not longer, was the idea to streaming, and I couldn't get the audio quite right. It was a bit hit and miss. So that was one of the reasons I was using Shadow. So that's what put me off a bit. When it worked, it looked amazing, and I played a bit of Sea of Thieves on it on PC. But then I had sort of audio problems and the in-game chat problems with it. I mean, they probably sorted those things out now, but at the time, it's those things like that which I understand put people off sort of cloud things. Many of the people who've seen my Project X Cloud will have seen, a slight lag and latency, and the fact it's only on a phone, so it's not comparable with Stadia at all in any way, other than the fact it's cloud gaming. But when we go a bit lower, we get a bit more granular, it's like, yeah, but it's cloud gaming to a mobile phone and it's 720p and that's it. Stadia is completely different. It's like, so they're both sport. It's like saying hockey and football, or let's like saying 5-a-side football and then Premier League football. They're different things. Storm is streaming Stadia using the Shadow. That is some kind of witchcraft. Clive, have you made any additions to your PC at all? I've just mortgaged the house for the PC. No, I haven't, Project Storm. I haven't. I'm too scared. I'm very happy with I'm very happy with how it's working, and it's delivering everything I wanted to do, and editing is a dream on it, which is, I had problems trying to edit massive files. And when if you're downloading files from YouTube, say you've done a 4-hour stream and you want to make a 10-minute highlight video, it helps if your computer's reasonably powerful enough to handle several gig download to manage that. It just goes to show how great Stadia can work. Exactly. I saw people giving off on Twitter as per normal, and MM2K just sent him a link to his Twitch stream, I think, of Stadia, and just go, take a look, it works. Don't know what you're talking about, mate. It works. Oh, Random News says, if you have a VDSL connection, don't turn your router off and on too often. It gets seen as an unstable connection at your cabinet and will reduce your sync speed. Okay, very interesting. Hey, Dave. How you doing, man? What's that, Clive? What have I done now? Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I bought a 2K gaming laptop a couple of months ago, and the kids broke the screen. Oh! Ouch! Yeah, it wasn't that expensive. I'm done with my gaming laptop. It was just an entry level, and it struggled. And I'm trying to be brave and start building out the tower. And what I've got, I'm very happy with, but I can update it. There's a Reddit post saying "Destroy All Humans" coming 28th of July. Yeah, that's on other platforms. Or are you saying there was a statement saying it's definitely coming to Stadia on the 28th of July, Dave? Because it's been launched on the 28th of July. It's just there was no mention of Stadia in the announcement. I think that was the controversy, issue, problem. Gone back to Alienware. Oh, still under warranty. Insurance. My PC specialist live unboxings doing quite well actually on the old YouTube. It was quite cool. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. That is the show. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I hope you had fun. I hope you found it informative. What we try to do is educate, inform, and entertain. That is my remit, my Raytheon remit. You know what Raytheon means in that context. Well done, you. But my Raytheon remit is always to educate, inform, and entertain. And I hope I've done that. I hope you've had a wonderful, wonderful time. Mrs. didn't put it on the schedule. Insurance schedule. What, the extra? Do you have any objects which are any household items over above a certain amount? Yeah, trying to save money on the insurance. Yeah. I used to noob. Anyway, thank you, Project Storm, for coming along. Really appreciate it. Lord Reith, thank you. David Handley, exactly. Raytheon. Yeah, inform, educate, and entertain. That's what we're here for. This is what I'm here to do. This is the remit on my show. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget, if you want to try drink, it's not an energy drink, it's a focus drink. Then use the description down below. Put in focus now. Enjoy, avail of yourself that. Thank you for all the super chats. Thank you for all the likes. If you haven't hit like, what's wrong with you, man? Hit the like. Thank you for coming along. I really appreciate it on your bank holiday stroke Memorial Day Monday. Have a wonderful week. We're going to get some game announcements. Whatever happens, guaranteed, we're going to get some game announcements this week. So all those that thrive on the little tidbits of information from Stadia and announcements, it's going to be a happy week for you because we can guarantee there'll be some game announcements because the Stadia Pro games are going to be announced this week. And we expect some other games to be announced as well. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say thank you. Have a great week. And goodbye.
Rage on that beat, going crazy.